Conversations with King. Oh, I gotta do that over. I got a sore throat. Don't mind me. It's killing me right now. Let me do that over. Conversations with King. Maybe that sounds a little bit better. It sounds a little raspy. It's okay. It's good. But we here now. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody that came to support us today. We are starting a little bit early, 7:30 early for us, but we started early because we have a lot of things to do today. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to all the four horsemen. We shout out to E Black, shout out to Chef, and shout out to Daryl. Thank you, shout out for giving a shout out. We're gonna get it to 1,000 today, and then we're gonna help everybody else get to 1,000 because Darrell is next. He's next. Then come E Black and Chef. Let everybody get to 1,000 so we can get monetized. That's the whole focus. Everything else is BS to me. Let's get monetized. Other than that, I want to say to you, thank you. Hopefully Darrell comes on, but I think he might be busy because he got a lot of good things coming for y'all in the videos. So go and check out his page. Also, we will make an announcement. We'll make an announcement and give a big shout out to Rasta Baby. Rasta Baby, you have been one of our top supporters since day one, and we truly appreciate you. Thank you for everything you have done for us. Everything. So hopefully tonight we can get to 1,000, or maybe this week we'll get to 1,000, and we still, we shift the paradigm. We're definitely in the matrix, and we shift the paradigm. So I want to say thank you for that. With all that being said, I really want us to put our full efforts. We only literally 82 people from 1,000. Let's get 90 people to subscribe tonight. Call a friend, ask them for a favor from a real page, because if you don't have a real page, they will take it down. They will take it down. So call a friend and tell them to make a page, please, from a different IP address so it's official. Another thing I want to say to you is today is going to be a very spicy topic, but it's going to be a short conversation today. Why? We just left the video that Darrell posted up earlier. Then we went straight to the pre-show with E Black and Chef on E Black's channel. Now we at the show, and then we're going to do at 10 o'clock. You're going to follow E Black to his page. To JP page, JP the Aspiring Monarchs page at 10 o'clock. From this, we go to her page for their particular interview or discussion. But also, don't forget, you have Chef post game, and that's at 11, I believe. But it might start earlier, but it's at 11. So you have a whole show. You might get a little break in between, but we want y'all to follow everybody's pages. So you should have started off with Darrell. Then you should have went to E Black's page for the pre-show. Then you have my page down. And then we're going to go to E Black's interview with JP. And then we're going to end up with Chef. It's going to be a very eventful day. We're doing this right now because what we're doing is trying to make sure we are official for what's about to happen in December. I have a big surprise for everybody in December. I need to get monetized this week, but December, your boy might be on another podcast that holds a lot of weight. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And when he's on that means I'm bringing all y'all with me because y'all started with me. And I'm definitely never leaving the four horsemen behind. Hopefully they get together. They get it together because me and Chef will be long gone. We need y'all to get it together because we want all y'all to cut a check. We want to cut a check for all y'all. Every four of us need to get it. So hopefully that works out. With that being said, we need to make this happen. So it's going to be a big thing. Keep your fingers crossed because a man cannot live off a ripple alone, right? We cannot live a ripple alone. So before we start the show, man, I hope y'all get together because I don't want to say it because you don't want to say good news because it gets spoiled. But let's put it like this. I use my resources to position us, and it could end up into something permanent, or it could end up to something that allows one of us to reach a higher level, right? So call your friends, get the likes up, call all your friends, tell them so I want all of us to partake in it. I'm not going to say it. If you want the information, Maricela knows about it. It's not materialized yet, but we in the works. So please just stick together. Another thing, and I'm not trying to bribe you. If you don't like each other, that's all right. That's more money for me. It's more money for me. Believe that. And it's no, I don't ever cap. So like I said, I'm working on it. When it materializes, you would definitely know, because you know I'm flexing. Get people in the room, please. First of all, shout out to Ripple. They sent me a nice little package today. They sent me a nice little package today. They sent me some clothes and some stuff. But I want to give them a shout out to all the flavors. If you know, all this is like what, $15, $20 a pop, $25, $45 a pop. This is what this is. So, okay, there you go. All the flavors. We got lychee. Lychee. If you ever come to New York, I take it to Philippe's and get some lychee martinis. All right, right there. We got lychee. We got lemon. You feel me? We got the peppermint. Right? We got the lavender. Hello. And we got the lychee again, and we got the jasmine. Ooh, jasmine is smooth. So with that being said, please go and support them. Get one of these. Get a 15% discount. They also got some good merchandise and stuff. They're supporting us, so we support them. And in turn, hopefully, we increase the sales, because when I do that, then I'm able to take the checks they give me and give it to people in the Four Horsemen or associate Conversation with Queens, and we able to give them money to continue their show with or without this channel. But I can't justify that if you are not buying this product. We won't need you to do anything but support that product so they could cut them a check. These guys are giving you 4 to 5 hours every day. These ladies are giving you 4 to 5 hours every week. We have to support. We have to support. Next thing is my book, Love and Life Through the Eyes of Travel. Kindle, Apple iBooks, Book Baby, and Amazon. Please support. All this money goes to me, so it's not going to support the channel. It just goes to me, so I could live in this amazing place and take amazing women out to dinner, and that's basically it. But I appreciate you though. With that being said, I am so happy to be here. Yes, Rasta, you do need that, but we're not going to give that. What we're going to do though, we got a special surprise because you're in New York. So those who come to New York at a certain date, we will have a party, especially if I get that good news in December. We will have a little party or get together or dinner and just vibe out, get some drinks or some honey wine. But before we introduce the people on the stage, let me give a little roll call. Shout out to Mayat, shout out to Georgie, shout out to the Rock Chris, shout out to Rasta Baby again, shout out to Maricela, the original flower after my mother. Who else? Shout out to Coffee No Cream. Shout out to you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to her. Shout out to Rico, baby. We need you up here soon. Get up here. Get up here. Shout out to Hanifa. Queen, you did your thing yesterday. I appreciate you. Yeah, I did numbers yesterday. Yeah, actually hit the 1K mark. Yeah, keeping up with the standards that Conversation with Kings has. We have a standard. Every 24 hours, we hit a K plus a K. The only video that we didn't hit a K was the video where they blocked me because of the music. And we're about to hit a K with that one. The other ones is probably like 2 or 3 early stages. We didn't hit a K, but it's okay. It's 2 or 3 of those. We all right. We doing real good up here. Natalie, we love you. You are such a brilliant Haitian woman. We love you. We love all your commentary. Who else? Cheryl, we love you, Cheryl. Yes, we started early, Cheryl, because we have a lot of things to do today. So, but Cheryl, if anybody could do it, you can do it. Let's get to 1,000 today. Let's get to 950 at the very least today. And then tomorrow we cruise. 950. Thank you, Dad. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're going to make sure everything is okay. However, we always want respect from both sides, Dad. And guess what? I like that car you got. I like that car. I love that car you got. With that being said, who else? JB, go and fix your bed, man. You still live with your mother. I don't care. And when it's on, it's on, man. It's on. Ken, what's up? I'm joking, JB. Go and get JB book. He got 2 app books that nobody reads, but get it. But I like it though. I can't front. I'm not good with technology, but for a black man to write a book like that, you gotta give him props. But I'm still mad at him because he started trouble a long time ago. Shout out to Kim. Kim, we love you, Mr. Rucker. Prenup. We fuck with you. And with that being said, let's begin our show. We have 63 now. Now I feel better that I can invite some of the 4 horsemen to talk, because I don't like them talking under anything under 50. Shout out to E Black. Talk to me, E Black.
What's good, my guy?
What's good, baby?
Not much, lightweight, a little working, you know. Hey, check out my little shirt. You know, I'm a little breezy right now. Hold on.
Let me fix
Little,
it. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. There you go. I can see it now. It's good
yeah,
now.
you know, I'm a little breezy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Pardon me for having the close up like that. Mm-hmm.
But what's good? You know, I'm E Black from E Black TV. Me and Chef cooked it up a little bit. You know, we talked about some things. You know, sometimes we'll be getting so deep in here, we don't have the time to really get into what's going on currently. So, you know, I think it's a great idea that, you know, all the brothers came up with to have a pre and a post show. Let us all, you know, work together. Because like I said, keep telling people, man, you're watching a plane fly and being built at the same time. And, and we're at 30,000 feet. So
Word.
it's an amazing sight.
Yeah, it is. It is. It
And we
is.
ain't built a parachute.
Ain't no parachute over here.
Right. So we have to stick together, make sure the plane doesn't fall out. Chef, introduce yourself.
What's good? What's good? It's your boy Chef Shapino. Chef Shapino on YouTube. It's been a blast. It's been a blast. Pre-game show, post-game show. They definitely they made some noise, and I like it. And I like it. So we here to get spicy. We here to cook tonight. We here to have a good time.
Right. Um, I want to say one thing. Shout out to Lover Boy Lenski. Lover Boy Lenski. I want to say shout out to you and Rasta Baby because I remember I have a good memory. You had a discussion weeks ago or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, in regards to how long it would take me to get 1,000. Rasta Baby said it would take me November 1st, and you said about around November 15th. So I think you might be actually the closest if we don't get it today. But if we get it tomorrow, you have definitely won that best, and that was a good estimate. Now you know your shit, Lover Boy Lenski. You know your shit. You definitely know how to flirt with the ladies. You definitely know how to flirt with the ladies. But be easy. We don't want no trouble.
I'm gonna send them out some honey bun pop boxes, man.
Yeah. So with that being said, what can I see? What can I say? We're gonna bring Rico up, but I want y'all to drop the question first. Because Rico is like one of the dudes. I want. Oh, by the way, the shirt is Balmain. By the way, you still one of the flyers. You know what I mean? I stay in shape, so I don't have to buy new expensive gear. I could wear the same things from 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago because I stay in shape. Um, the ladies love you. You got that right. With that being said, Rico, let's bring Rico up, and we want to start with the first question, spicy question of the day. Rico, what's up, Fresh Cut? How you doing? How you doing, sir? What's going on?
I'm doing wonderful. Just returned
Damn,
home yesterday from the
Rico.
island, chef. I forgot to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing wonderful. Hate being out of that sunshine back into the cold, but we do what we must do.
We do what we must do. We do what we must do. The first question of the day, this is for Rico, because Rico always gives us like the answer. The answer that's so real. We always say, damn, Rico. Damn, Rico. So the spicy question of the day, you can look at the description, is it your obligation to tell your friend, man or woman, because I saw this on Shade Room somewhere from that show called The View, I believe. Is it your obligation to tell your friend that you caught their significant other cheating? You're at a restaurant, you're on your own date, and you see them walk in and you see them. Do you call your friend on the spot or do you wait to get information? Oh,
That mean I don't have to answer.
Yeah, man. You was on a date.
shout out to Danique. Shout out to Danique. Danique, I want to say something, Danique. You did a great commercial for Ripple. I just want to make sure I clear it with them before I post it up. This shit is fire. Danique, Anthony, thank you so much. That shit was fire. Fire. Now, let's do it. question. What do you do?
It's a very, very, very tricky question. Because I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do my chef impersonation. There's a lot of layers here. The layers start with what level of friendship is this person that you're talking about? If it's just an acquaintance, someone that you know in passing, I feel no obligation to say anything. If it's a person that's a deep, lifelong friendship, yeah, you do feel some sort of obligation to
Get the lights up.
to protect your friend, but you always have to worry about how the information is going to be received. Oftentimes, I think for the most part, I look at it when, if for example, King, if me and you, we've been 20-year friends and your old lady's out there cheating on you, I start with the premise that I'm not the first to know, you're the first to know, whether you recognize or see it or not. So then I'm concerned with how do I deliver this information to you and how will it be received?
Right.
Some people don't want to receive it the right way. Is it an obligation? No. I will always say it's not an obligation. Is it the right thing to do? If I thought my friend was having the wool put over their eyes or made a complete fool out of themselves, yes. If I don't believe that's the case, I have no obligation to tell them what I believe they should know. They probably do know. Everyone else does know. So, my friendships, I am about protecting. And my issue is, if Chef, you're my friend, E-Black, you're my friend, and your significant other, I don't care about your significant other. I care about the harm that I would inflict upon you. And some people take pleasure in delivering bad news. That's not a good thing to do. But if it's necessary, if I think, okay, E-Black or Chef, your significant other is making a damn fool out of you and laughing behind your back, then I will find the least painful way I can think of to tell you that. But under no circumstance do I ever believe it's an obligation. But I would not withhold information that I think is helpful to any of you just because of, oh, well, it's none of my business. I don't think that's very, I mean, I do think that there are significant others that are really good at being real deceiving and real deceptive and real dirty. And I don't want my friends to be disrespected. And I would probably try to approach the person I thought they were being too disrespectful.
Right.
But it's spicy, King.
Right. Spicy. So let me shout out to Quantum Love. According to Rico, there is levels to that, right? Also, shout out to that boy ZB. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Dave Davila. We love you. We love you, Flower. And shout out to Misha. Shout out to you. You are amazing.
Can I ask Rico a question?
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Hey, Rico.
Love and trouble. Love you too.
Would you pull out the cell phone just to record it?
Quick answer.
I probably would, but I wouldn't say that I would deliver the information right away. I would probably record it so I could help process it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that it's your place to tell your friend? Because usually what happens, they end up getting back together and then you look crazy.
That can happen with families. And that's why I sit there and say even when I say there's levels to it, it can be a family member, whether it's a sibling or a cousin. And I've been in situations where you tell a family member, and what you just described is exactly what happened. And I feel like they knew it, told them, and they still went back to it. And it's like, you know what? The hell with it.
Right.
But I still, it's just levels.
But okay, well, my thing is, Chef, what does a person do? And get the likes up and get subscribers up. We are almost home. I want to pop this honey wine bottle. We're almost home. We did it together in less than 5 weeks. Let's do it. What do you think, Chef?
none of what you hear. I would need more information. I would have to lay in the cut. Me coming out and it's like a sniper. That's why snipers they always go to get one kill, one shot, one kill, or even they'll wait till two people in front to one shot, two kills. Why? Because once the sniper makes that shot, he's revealed his position. You get what I'm saying? And then now he becomes the prey. Relationships are crazy. That's why police, the one thing they hate the most is domestic violence, because you come to save somebody, and now the person who was the damsel in distress is attacking you with the dude that you're trying to save her from. It's a dangerous game. So for me, they would probably find out before I said anything because of the fact that I don't have enough information. And at that point, if this man eventually decides to marry her, now I'm not a friend of the couple. I'm just his homeboy, which is a big difference. Seen a lot of ugliness come from that. So for me, now, my brother, remember, we have, to our love periphery, we have multiple rings. Outer rings, inner rings. The closer you get to my love periphery, to me, who's at the center of that, the more I'm open to communicate with you, and the more level of communication that you can have with me that other folks can't. We're more in unison. We're more osmosis based. We're that close. That's a difference.
That's a
difference. You know what I'm saying? And exactly what he said. Only obligated to tell a sibling or family member if they're being cheated on. Because of the fact that the closer they are to you, the level of communication is more organic. It's more organic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Me, I have a double standard. If I see one of my female friends, man, outside, I ain't saying shit. If my female friends, I'm not really gonna tell them. I think that's gossipy. But if I see my homie girl with somebody, I'm gonna walk up to them and say, "What's up?" So now you got 24 hours to tell your man. Before I do, you could do it. I'm not going to say nothing, but you know I know. You feel me? So I won't say nothing, but you know I know. So you should tell him. You feel me? But if it's my lady friend, I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell if I see their man cheating, because to me that's a violation of bro code. To me, it's a violation of bro code. I'm not doing that. Y'all know what comes with the territory. Y'all know what comes to tell you. Fuck what y'all talking about. I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm not telling that. You feel me? It's a sad double standard, but that's how I'm rocking with it. Thank you, brother Noopsy. You get it. You get it. It's a double standard. That's how we moving, though. That's how we loving the trail. You know how we moving. Go ahead. And girls do the same thing opposite. What they do is, if they see their girl being cheated on, they're gonna tell their girl. But if they see their male friend being cheated on, you know? So let me know what you think. What you think? Question. Do you approach them, or do you be sneaky and tell their significant other on the low? Or do you approach them in front, like, what are you doing here? What do you do? E Black?
Man, I let everything play out. I'll be real with you. I try to stay out of folk business, man. I can't do it because, like you say, you know, sometimes you let them know and they get back together. I can say, "Hey, man, I seen them getting drinks. I seen them hugged up at the bar. They still gonna get back together." And then not only that, they might be saying, "Hey, we be on a break and stuff." I'll be like, "Look, I'm gonna stay out of it." Now, my homie, my dog, my right hand man. Oh yeah, I'm letting them know. But I'm not gonna interfere because, like I said, I don't know what's going on. I've been in that. I've been, to be real, I've been in that situation to where
Tell the story.
One of my partners. Okay, this is story time.
Story time.
So one of my partners, he was with a girl, and that was his baby mama. Now, one of the other homies who was like the outer area of homies. He's not my homie, but that's his homie. But anyway, come to find out, his baby mama told my girl all about the other dude. So she tell me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this information? What am I supposed to do with this information? So I ended up talking to my homie. I'm like, man, look, man, take it how you want, but this is what the business is.
Turn the lights
And then
up.
I went to the associate. I was like, dude, what you doing? But either way it went, they still stayed together. Nobody scrapped. Like I said, stay out of it. I stay all the way out of it because you can't tell nobody who to love, man,
Right.
or who to mess with.
Right. What about you, Chef?
Stay out of it. While you stay out of it, you just got to stay out of it, man. The question is, what do you think it's a better thing? What will telling them do?
Right.
Is it necessary? Is it right? You get what I'm saying? Is it imperative? What is the same thing I said to the Freedmen's Journal guy yesterday? Like, so what was your motives? What did you think would come of you delivering this information? And that's another reason why this is such a touchy subject for folks, because it's like, yo, what is the benefit? Are you going to say something to punish that guy? Or are you going to say something to make them break up? What is the impetus? What is your goal that you have in order to tell this person that information? And not just that, some folks don't understand that the method of delivery makes a big difference as well. How you deliver that message. Girl, I told you he wasn't shit. Or, some people will use that information just to exhibit hubris. See, I told your ass, don't nobody want to listen. I told you he wasn't shit. Yep. See, I always right. Y'all don't be listening. Some people try to find negative things going on just to be able to say that they're right. So,
there's people that like to see relationships break up. So anytime I give a girl, I always say your friends are jealous. They don't want to see us happy. That gives me like insurance. So if there ever comes any type of news, I told you she don't want to see us happy. I've been told you that. So I try to throw little insurances out there when I get with a girl. Like your friends want us to be happy, they jealous. So if they ever catch me with somebody else, you know how she feel about our relationships. That's what go ahead.
Can I offer one your favorite terms, a rabbit hole, King?
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, so now, and I'm thinking of it in today's term. So, and I know, like I said, the person who delivers the bad, you're the bearer of bad news.
Right.
But now we all agree that we're gonna keep it to ourselves. We're gonna keep our mouth shut.
Right.
But the four of us are friends. Okay. Now I'm stepping out on your old lady behind your back, King.
Right.
E Black and Chef knew about it.
Right.
But they keep it to themselves, and you find out later.
Right.
And you find out they knew.
Right.
Now, how does that make you feel that they did not convey that information to you?
Right.
Because that's the other side of the coin.
Right.
That I feel like people that are close to me, while they wanted to keep out of it, they chose to, the harm still came to me when I found out my significant other cheated behind me. But then I was hurt even more because people that knew about it did not say anything to help to protect me.
Right.
That's why I say there's levels to it.
Mm-hmm. So what's the rabbit hole? Where's the question?
The question is, if because we were black and white on, we'll stay out of it.
Right.
But what about these levels where because as you said, Chef, the circle tightens. Right. A lot of the cheating is in very tight circles.
Right.
So how do you address those issues when it's on that much of a personal level?
Well, me personally, if my friends knew about it and they didn't tell me, I felt weird because I did dirt in my life, so I gotta eat that. I did dirt, man.
Did you do dirt to your friends that didn't
No,
tell
no,
you?
I didn't do dirt, but the way cheating happens, if you cheat on people, it comes back to you.
So you just chalk it up to karma.
I'm saying, listen, it's homeostasis in the garden, right? Everything comes back to normal, right? So what happens is I'll be mad at my friends. And I'm like, damn. So I wonder if they laughing behind my back, or if they see no. Or a lot of times people don't want to mess it up because your relationship is so amazing. They don't want to spoil that feeling. Like me, listen, if I ever get caught by one of my ladies, I said one of them, there's many. If I get caught by one of my ladies' friends, I'm gonna say, listen, if you could go and tell her, but you're gonna ruin her happiness. She's happy with me right now. So go and tell her, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna break up. We're gonna break up because I'm not gonna deal with this stress. Or you give me a chance to say, you know what, you got one off and that's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
But just to piggyback on that, is that not on the same level of? I think most people. I'm not gonna say most people, but you can accept a significant other cheating on you with someone you don't know rather than someone you know. You know what I'm saying? It's
I can't, because the way
I'm not saying you would accept it. It's more acceptable that she steps out with a stranger rather than, because of the analogy you gave of, don't do it with a friend that's laughing at me and making me look like a fool, and I'm more disrespected because you're stepping out with someone that's laughing.
You keep on bringing the same scenario of many shows. It's not the only time you brought this scenario up with the question, the inner circle friends, and they knowing something. But we talk about that later. We're going to jump into that rabbit hole later. But the thing is, me, all's fair in love and war. We have a rule. If that's not your wife, she's up for grabs. If that's not your wife, she's up for grabs. Because
what about baby moms though? Because I was in
baby moms. Then my thing with baby moms, of course you're gonna respect the baby moms. But this is the problem with our community. I know some of my friends that married their best friend's ex. There's no ego when it comes to real love and relationships and partnerships. But us black people, yo, you were my girlfriend in 8th grade. How dare you talk to my best friend now? Hold up. She needs to find love. And if you don't want to hold her down, let the next man do it. However, I get it. But we can't have ego when it comes to making a woman happy. So let me tell you something. This is a great segue.
Now, hold on, King.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. This is a great segue, though. This is a great segue to the next spicy question. Good job, Rico.
King, you're talking from a player's perspective.
No, not a player. I didn't say. I said my white counterpart. I said wealthy, affluent white people I know, they will marry their best friend's ex because they're in love. That's it. And they still.
What about the good brother? What about the dude that you know? What about the dude that you know who ain't out here cheating? He just a good brother.
What I gotta do with it?
And ain't no karma on him, no. So you not gonna tell your homie? You know he out here faithful.
Hold on. Look, Natalie, I gotta point you out, Flower. That's sloppy seconds of it. Natalie, we all had experiences before. Everybody, I hope everybody's, unless you're a virgin, we all are someone's second. We all are. This is why it's a great topic, Natalie. You know why? And I need you to come up here. You know why? Because the next spicy question deals with Jeff Bezos. Recently, Jeff Bezos was at a party, and his lady friend was looking at Leonardo DiCaprio hard. This is the wealthiest, one of the top 3 wealthiest men in the world. Top 3. And she looked at Leonardo DiCaprio. And no, he told a joke afterwards. I got a clip for you to jump off. Just joking with him. And now this is the new Jeff Bezos. This is Jeff Bezos that's looking good, that's in shape. He's not having it. And I say this to say this. he didn't really care. It was a joke. He doesn't care. At a certain point, why do we care if your partner finds another person attractive? Why do we care if your partner at a certain age? You mean to tell me you've been having sex with this person for 10 to 15 years and you get mad that that person flirted with another person or gave the eyes to that other person? Listen, real talk, I don't know if I would do it, but I do believe there are couples out there that if their partner had a chance to sleep with a celebrity, the partner would like, go ahead and come back and tell me how it was. I do believe that. Would I do it? No.
You got couples that have celebrity lists.
Hold on. Would I let my wife? Would I want my wife to do it? I don't know. But what I asked my wife, can I have that? Can I? Oh, Beyonce was looking at me at the philanthropic gala. I want to mess with her. I hope she would say, hell yeah. Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that you actually have couples that are out there that they have hall pass. They have hall pass lists.
He says,
literally.
How am I suspect? Square, come up and talk to us. I'm just being honest. I know people that do that.
You know, they literally have a hall pass list, and it's almost that list where they get to list 5 people, right? That if I had an opportunity to sleep with with one of those 5 people, I would get a pass from it. And normally, when those people would do it, it would be like the woman's favorite stars, you know, Idris Elba or Drake or some other stuff. And there's couples that literally give like a pass list, like almost like, yeah, shit, you had that opportunity, yo. Yeah, you had to take that one. There's people that believe that. What some folks don't, and I'm talking about just cheat day, right, E? What I'm talking about is not my personal feeling on the issue. But one thing I want to say is this. Even there's married people that don't romanticize sex as much as others do. There's some folks that don't romanticize sex as others do. So some people believe that cheating is not when you sleep with another woman. Some believe that cheating is when you step outside of your manly protection and provision and start to provide for another woman. Mm-hmm. and limit protection to your family to protect them. There's some people you heard them when they talk about cucks and cuckolds, where there's men that get turned on by seeing another man handle their wife. Crazy as it is, right? That's not my cup of tea, but there's people that work that way. Everyone doesn't romanticize sex as much as we do. So when they have something like that list, hey, as long as they smashing it, but you ain't sending no cash apps, you know?
Like, I don't understand why we people find it hard to believe. That's an ego thing, right? There's a hall pass. And Kim says, hall pass my ass, right?
Well, not as her peach.
See, Natalie is right. Women will make this thing, but they know that it's hard, it's slim to none. Like, yeah, you can sleep with Nicole Murphy, thinking that you can't meet her until the day you meet her and she's down for whatever, right? That's what it is. But I would like to tell y'all something. A man with options doesn't really care because they can get whoever they want for the most part, right? But a man who doesn't have that many options is going to cover his wife and prevent her from living her fantasy. Why? Okay, so let me ask you questions on here. Me, like I said, I don't think I can do it because I think I'm the best dude that any woman could get. So that's why I don't think I could do it, right? But this is Leonardo DiCaprio. He did Titanic. He did all these fucking amazing movies. Your wife been looking at her. Let's use Idris Elba. Guys, would you give your wife the pass, your lady the pass to see with Idris Elba and no one knew about it? Be honest.
For the bag, yes. And we go back.
No. First, without the bag.
Right, but I'm saying it's because if we look at it, like I said, okay, here's the thing is for me, It's about, do I know the guy? So if I don't know the person, in my mind, I always look at it that everybody's an independent individual. I'm an independent individual man, so I don't take any ownership of
But when you say the
it.
bag, that means you're a pimp.
No. What I'm saying is, I think of the premise of that movie, Chef. You know the name of the movie, Robert Redford, where he
You're
was
talking
indecent proposal.
Indecent proposal. Yeah.
He wanted to sleep with his wife for $1 million for one night, and Woody Harrelson did it. He wanted the money. So you have these scenarios, and I agree with you, King. There are people of this persuasion that, as I said, the Bidens, one brother.
Turn the lights up.
So for me, my only thing is I could never not accept it if my wife went out and did it with someone that I knew of. That's the harm to me. If it's someone I did not know of, I may not like it, but as E Black said, like you said, you're married, you can forgive it.
Right.
But if it's someone I know of, that's a bridge too far. That's it.
Mike Tyson took an L to Brad Pitt.
Or some celebrity that don't give a shit about me.
All right. Well, here's a question to Rico at 100 watts and Chef. I know E Black got something to say. We're gonna let him say that and get the solo shot for that one. It's a difference if your wife comes to you and says, I cheat on you with E Black and I cheat on you with Idris, you're gonna feel different. And E Black is a handsome guy, but you're gonna feel different. Like, hold up, you slept with E Black?
There's no way. There's no way.
But he's a handsome guy, but if she says Idris, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be like,
there's no way.
With a British dude?
Go ahead, a
British dude? You gonna get with a British dude over
There's
me?
no way. There's no way. There is no way. Look, if we all gonna be honest on this panel, if you have ever had a conversation with your lady about giving a hall pass or something like that,
Never.
It's because you know the probability of her actually running into these dudes is super low. It's super low. So you know good and well, even if she ran into Idris Elba and that exchange happened, come on, man, that's a violation of the house. Like, come on, man. So you're telling me that all it took was for the right person to come across you for you to bust the guts open? Come on now.
What you mean? Hold on. 100 watts. I love you, brother.
I'm not liking the way this question is going.
Check this out. You know this. I know you got a girl, so I'm not going to say this, but you know there's guys out there that know.
Oh, please don't be upset. She's right here in the room with me.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I know, but I'm saying
let's speak.
There's young men like you that women talk to online who they never saw. They watch your social media and they hold on, and they fantasize about you. Right now, let's turn this up 1,000. There's a guy who does fucking movies with a British accent that's in shape, who they have been watching for years. When they get a chance with him, you think they're gonna try their hand or not?
See, here's my thing with that question, King, because I feel like me and you can kind of relate on this.
Right.
The belief that I have in myself, the power and the life that I'm gonna be able to provide for myself. If you're entertained by that, you're not entertained by me. Right. If you don't believe in me and the power in which I believe within instilling myself and making happen for my life and all of that, and you get distracted by that, then you really don't believe in me, sweetheart. If you want Will Smith or Idris Elba or Bruno Mars or all of that, please go enjoy yourself, do your thing.
Can I please ask 100 Watt a question?
I was gonna tell him to keep going. He was fitting. That's why I want a solo shot. He was going.
Just one question, 100 Watt.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not seen your significant other. I believe she is the most gorgeous woman on earth. Okay. And I'm going to just set that to the side.
Okay.
That's the only woman on earth that you think looked that good. No. Because in reality, as much as you love and desire that woman, you can look at other women and still, I'm not saying you're going to act on it, still see the same level or greater of beauty and desire in others. And all we're saying is that your significant other can see the same thing in you.
Here's a relate, like a bridging of the gap, right? A perfect example is the Black Panther, right? Michael B. Jordan, when he was moving around with no shirt on. I have no problem with my woman sitting next to me and saying, "Oh, he looks nice in the scene. That's a nice body right there." But if we're talking about hall pass, and he looks nice in this scene, those two totally different ideas, right?
Wait, hold on. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You disagree?
I disagree because me, that's why I work out every day. If she looks at a scene at Idris or Ocho Cinco, I'm like, I want to be able to take off my shirt and say, I'm not that far from that. So what's going on?
But so here's the difference. If we're at the movies together and she sees Idris Elba or Tyrese or somebody in one of these scenes when they look good, is that not different than when she actually takes advantage of that hall pass, when she actually physically gets involved with Idris Elba? Are those not two different events?
Okay, here's what you get twisted. You're comparing a woman having a night of lust, and you're saying, are you willing to risk that night of lust for a lifetime of commitment?
And the only reason that's coming into play for me, because when I listen to you guys,
I'm saying, go ahead, sorry.
The only reason that's coming into play into me is because, if I'm gonna be honest, I was editing the video, I hopped into you guys late, but I heard y'all talking about a hall pass, and that's the part
I
that
didn't say that.
It was just, I only caught a small part of you guys. I'm gonna be honest, because I was editing. But when I heard the hall pass, that's what was in my mind, because like, I have no problem. My confidence, I have no problem with the woman sitting next to me looking at a movie and saying, okay, he looks decent. You know, he worked out for this video. He looks good in this video. I don't have a problem with that. Right. But if you're willing to go out of your way to happen to be in the right place at the right time to be around this individual to get that, right? That's where my disconnect.
Every married woman I talked to said, I would not cheat on my husband unless it was a situation, a once in a lifetime situation that I wouldn't get caught for. So with that being said, maybe she won't leave you for him, but if she could be with that guy for a once in a life situation that you wouldn't find out, you'd be surprised. And can you do the same thing? If you have, who do you find attractive as a woman? Because you say you have this transparent relationship, and she's sitting right next to you. Who do you find?
Megan Good has been high on my list for a very
Megan Good. If you had a chance to see Megan Good on a private island,
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Come on, Rico, why you do me like that?
No, I'm being honest.
No.
If you had a chance to see on a private island with no one knowing ever, and that's just you can take the grave, would you do it?
It's 4th and goal, man. Punt.
Turn the lights up, please. We got to start. Turn the lights up.
You don't like the couch. The couch ain't worth it. The couch ain't worth it.
E-Black said punt. I'm gonna punt from the 4th yard.
Don't do it.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I really think that everybody has.
I mean, but honestly, but no. In all trueness, all jokes aside, I truly believe, because for the place that I'm at in my journey, I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, but accountability is one of those things that, like, I'm at that place in my journey where that's one of those things that makes super sense for me. If I'm going to destroy my family, the woman that I've spent X number of years with, and she's had my children and all of this, I'm gonna waste that for one free night with Megan Good, because that's not gonna. Like, I don't really. How do I know that that's? Come on, bro.
But the
I respect
Megan Good, she's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you, but come on.
But 100 watts. The conversation is not about accountability. If your significant other gives you a hall pass. If she gives you a hall pass, she gives no. Do you know what a hall pass is?
No, and I understand.
A hall pass is your significant other gives you permission.
Okay. So now, as the youngest man here in this panel right now, I want to ask all of you gentlemen here on this panel, how many of you have in your life experienced a hall pass and it worked well for you?
Hold on, Rico. Don't say anything until we get to 100 likes. We got 3 more.
Three more likes. Y'all got to get 3 more likes to be able to understand the full totality of this question. I know y'all can pull 3 more likes out. Somebody got to share somewhere.
All right. Are we there? We got 100. Thank you. Let's go.
Okay. As Quantum Love said, hall pass means permission. Your significant other gives you permission. And it doesn't mean they want you to do it.
Wait, hold on. Is this true? See how the universe hears you? The universe heard you.
You got a chance, 100 watt. You got a chance.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I just found out that right now. Thanks for that information, Kim.
Yeah, that's what a hall pass is. A hall
Ron
pass.
P. Shout out to Ron P and his wife. He said you're gonna end up on a red table.
Yeah, Ron P, stay out of the conversation, man.
Yeah, Ron P. What up, Ron P? Salute to
Love
your
you, Ron
family,
P.
Ron P.
Hey, stay a spectator. But look, it means permission. It means permission. I got one before. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn.
Are you still with her?
Nah, I'm about to get to it though. That was my ex-fiance.
Yo, 100 watts is crazy. You got mute. You got mute.
Who, me? No,
No.
I'm listening. I'm listening to the chef. He said he was getting to.
I put something down on the I hit the mute button.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong. It was a hard pass. She was in a state of depression. And she was in state of depression for a minute. She was not ready. She, at that point in time, she had, she lost her dad and there was a lot going on. We weren't having sex. The sex stopped, and it wasn't by virtue of desire. It's just, she was depressed, man. She was depressed. And in terms of my own personal hubris and my own selfishness and desires, she was like, look, if you wanna sleep with somebody, then go ahead. And I was like, yo, why would you say something like that? Well, she was like, well, I feel God and wants you and I to be together, so I'm not worried about that. Now, because remember, I talk about then and I talk about now with everything that I know from taking inventory. I was fucked up. Why? Because she was in a state of depression. And at that point, she knew that she wasn't able to fulfill certain womanly duties that she felt, and she allowed it. Did she catch me sleeping with somebody? No. But when she found out that I was communicating with somebody else, the pain, you know what I'm saying? The pain. We talk about that we built for certain things. We always talk about we're ready, and we always talk about what we can handle, right? We're not always ready because we actually have never been through it before. So we say, oh, yeah, I'm a G about mine. I could do this, I could do that. She wasn't ready. And I felt like a dude that cheated. You get what I'm saying? But not so much cheating on myself as well. You get what I'm saying? Because I used certain physical desires when I could have just been more patient. So in retrospect, yeah, I got one. Do they work? That's when I'm talking clinically, I'm just saying, yeah, these things exist. I didn't say that I'm a fan of them. You get what I'm saying? I didn't say I'm a fan of it. But yeah, it was one. But everybody's not built for that, man. Everybody's not built for that.
Yes, Willie D. Yes, talk to me, 100 watts. He said, 100 watts said that's a pass you're going to fail.
Can we be honest though? And Chef, I 100,000%. Like I said, if I'm offered a hall pass, I'm going to refuse it. But the thing is, they don't all fail. That's what I always want to say. We have to be clear that you have to look at the reasoning for it. Like as Chef said, in his situation, it was the wrong time for the wrong reason. But there are people who give hall passes for various reasons. Some women can't physically perform. If as a man, if I dealt with ED, erectile dysfunction, let's be mature about it, and I
Right.
could not pleasure my wife, she gonna get a fucking hall pass because I would rather her go out there and be physically satisfied
Right.
and still emotionally connected to me than rather be with me and suffering for that when I can't perform a responsibility or a function that I'm required to perform.
Right.
And I have to
So
be
I'm
mature
sorry,
and
my penis
grown up
might
to
not
live
work, but my
about it.
mouth do. I'm
Huh?
sorry.
and that's exactly where
I'm
I'm
not,
going because of, no, no. So Rico, here's the question, Rico. So here's the question. Here's the question.
yes.
You said you were not able to perform because of
I said,
erectile dysfunction.
I
That's a
perform
medical.
fine. I
That's a
perform, yeah,
medical thing, right? No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
yeah.
to put that on you, but you were
No, I'm
talking about
just
the
joking.
situation.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Uh,
medical.
uh, and anecdotally speaking, right? You can put that in your pocket. My bad, my brother. My bad. My apologies.
Okay.
Right? But if you're talking about a man who medically is not able to perform, how would that be different than someone who is physically not able to perform? Maybe he doesn't have the length or the girth to match the sexual desire that woman needs. So is he supposed to give his woman a hall pass at that point as well?
No, I'm not saying that anybody's required to give a hall pass.
This is
It's just an individual option. Is all I'm
this is
saying.
and this is the thing to me about hall pass.
Right.
Anytime that ever comes up, that's the this is the final card I have. This is my ace of spades. This is the only card I have left in my hand. This is the only thing I got left, and maybe this will work.
So
There's
what?
I cannot think of one time where I heard of that situation coming up, and it was for a growth of the relationship. It was
No,
one
no,
of
no.
those. This is the last thing we have to make this
Right.
relationship work. That's the only time I can think of that
And I
working.
totally get that. But let me ask you this, just hypothetically, just think for a second. Walk with me. You know you've reached a medical condition that you can't perform. You ain't got a tongue like E Black or the gift of gab, whatever the case may be, whatever, right?
That's funny.
Because I'm just saying, I love you, E Black, you my guy, right? But for everybody, that ain't enough. But I get that. But it's at a space. What I sometimes think of is I think outside of myself and I think about the other person. Because the same way, and to me, if I love my wife that much, if I really do, I want her to be fulfilled as a woman should be fulfilled. And I don't mean, please don't mean it that way. I want her to be satisfied. I want it to be by me, but bottom line, as a man, my hubris is not so big that I think that I am the end all to be all to everything that exists on this world. And if I ended up being a failed man because I'm defective in some sort of fucking way, I need to own that.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, Rico. A lot of men feel that, no, I don't care if I'm not pleasing my woman. She's not supposed to have sex with someone else, right? There's some men that also feel like, I don't care if I'm not financially stable. She has to wait till I get right, right?
Exactly.
There's some men that feel like, yo, I'm not at the same place with her spiritually, so she has to wait until I get there. This is whole thing about us letting women wait until we get right, and that's an ego-based thing.
Or suffer for our failings is my problem.
It's an ego-based thing. So one of the things, even women do the same thing. Just wait till I get right, and then I'll be the woman you need. You have the right to say no.
Or let me flip it. Your woman ain't sleeping with you. Period. No, let's flip it. Let's just flip it for a moment. Let me flip it for you for a moment, E Black. That's it. It's broken. You ain't getting no more for the next 20 fucking years. It's a wrap, bro. No. Because see, that's the thing. We look at it in a personal, we look at it in a selfish perspective. Now, your old lady, she ain't giving you the box because it's broke, and the head ain't no good. Top job ain't no good, and the box is broken. Good luck, bro, because you married.
I'm just a petty person, so
Thank you.
Let's let Natalie. Natalie, you have something to say, Natalie? Natalie?
you're on mute, Natalie.
You're on mute, Natalie. Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
Ali,
Okay. No, I was listening to what you all were saying, and I thought about Beverly Smith. She was like a restaurateur
Yes.
who she was, I think she was going to,
B.
well, she
Smith.
was B. Smith,
Right.
right.
She was an ex model, ex
Right,
supermodel.
and
She opened B. Smith.
restaurateur.
Oh yeah.
And at some point, she was literally, her health was failing. I think she had like Alzheimer's, and she decided to give her husband literally a live in lover. So
Right.
he went with it. Long story short, you know, he goes through the process of feeling comforted because she can't deliver certain needs,
Right.
and she ends up leaving him that live in.
Wow.
So, I mean, to look at it from that perspective, but when it comes to the hall pass situation,
Right.
honestly, hall passes, I think for women would be more difficult because you have to have some kind of emotional connection to the man. Like at the end of the day, there are like a number of attractive celebrities, but I don't think that most women would just fall over themselves to get this chance. Maybe men with their libidos or their ability not to like connect to someone, it can happen, but I doubt it'd be as easy for a woman.
So do you think that are you one of those women that believe women can't have sex just to have sex?
I plead the fifth.
Hello?
Let me, okay, in all honesty, I
And I
think
know
there are
I know
some
women
women out
that
there
don't
that
have
can.
attachment either. They don't. Some women don't care. They just it's for the fantasy, right? Women have how you say bucket list. People have bucket lists of people they would like to sleep with, right? And it might not be a celebrity. It might be like, oh, I want to go and study in France for the summer and meet this French guy with a man bun who rides a motorcycle, right? And sleep with him. Or I want to go to Senegal and get one of those warriors that fight and that are extra chiseled, right? Or I want to have an experience in New York City, like Sex and the City, with a rich banker. They have these
Coffee
fantasies.
No Cream's message.
Yeah. Huh?
She said Coffee No Cream at 8:33. She said that she's given her man a hall pass before.
Right,
You had
right,
to,
right.
let's not
So
forget that.
with that being said, women have fantasies. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. Do you think women actually have emotional attachments to that? Because I think women don't have emotions most of the time. I think women subscribe to narratives.
I can agree with
As a
that.
young woman, they believe they have these fantasies that they want to fulfill before they get married. Do you believe in that?
I think it's more conditioning that you're
Okay.
considered a woman with like you're loosely, like you have loose morals if you can easily jump and move about with different men. And it's ironic because I was having a conversation today with someone who literally is loose like that. Like she is not connected to men. She has no problem, but then when you have conversations with her, you know she's really lost on the inside.
Damn, that was kind of judgmental, Natalie. She said, "Luke."
Well, honestly, the reason why she calls herself loose, she says she empowers herself by
Right,
having sex with so many different men.
right,
And it's to a point now, it's like more of her reputation. Like
right.
that's how it leads because she feels like she can do it just as men do. It's almost like a competition. So innately, I don't think women are built to do that.
Hmm. Okay, fellas, what do you think?
Question, Natalie, is her brokenness built to her sexuality though, or is her sexuality a result of her brokenness? You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
there's
So when I look at the correlation, people like to say, okay, because it's a woman, because she's loose, that's why she's broken, and it could be, well, she was broken, and that's why she's loose. So I hate that. I got upset because in the previous show, someone made the statement like, "Oh, a sexually liberated woman," and they referred to them as like women of the night. And I'm like, no, I've known of a lot of sexually liberated women, and they're not loose women or prostitutes or of any other ilk. They just look at sex the same way that men do.
Yo, OG,
They just can.
you said women of the night.
Well, because I
You
didn't
made
want
that
to use
shit
the P
sound super
word.
old. They call them 304s now. He
Oh,
said
304s, right?
ladies of
So,
the night. Oh,
so
women of
I,
ill repute.
women of ill repute. So I think what you're saying is true, Natalie. But again, like the young lady that you discussed, she's a loose woman, but she could be loose for a number of reasons other than her sexuality. But we automatically correlate sexuality to looseness.
But in her case, it's actually that
It might
because
be right.
right, in her case, but there are some women who can easily say that a man will be just enough for to serve a purpose. One
Mhm.
can serve a purpose as like companionship or however that looks.
Yes.
Others might want literally to be in a relationship, but it's interesting when women can separate it because we have a tendency to get emotionally attached. So that's why I'm looking at the hall pass situation as more difficult for a woman. Well, at least I'll be honest. I'd have to have some kind of connection to you to want to go that route. I can't. Yeah, it'd be rough.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how I know that women have the ability not to be attached in relationships? Try having bad sex with a woman.
Hmm.
I don't care how great your person. Try having bad sex and not having money. I don't care how great your chemistry is. A woman is gonna find a way not to be attached to you.
I
Because of
agree.
the money, because of not having money or the
No, I said
expense or the
not
debt.
having good sex and not having money.
But what if she wants to train him?
Train him. Oh, that's a whole nother show, Natalie.
Mm.
That's a whole nother show, Natalie.
Can't
Natalie, that's a whole
again. I
nother
think
show.
we need to
I,
go down her rabbit hole.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What do you mean training?
Okay, I'm not even. Okay, so to be honest with you, like think about the concept of being a virgin until marriage, right? And what if that experience is lackluster? What are you going to do? Divorce the man? Or are you going to figure out how to please yourself or get him to please you? You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean
you got to
that
look at it
works.
in that context.
That works if you have time, right? That works if you meet that guy in high school or college. Maybe that works, right? But you're still gambling. Oh shit! I just made a segue to the main topic.
There
Oh,
you
shit. I
go.
do it all the fucking time. I do it all the fucking time. Listen, that works if you're gambling, right? That works if you're not afraid to gamble and start over, right? That works if you're not afraid to gamble and stay within the relationship, right? But it's a gamble. And a woman willing to take that gamble, it's a scary thing when you're like say a woman my age or around my age. It's hard for her to take that gamble of being alone and starting over, right? But a woman who's in her 20s would probably take that chance. And I think that's the biggest thing that women need to learn. You need to learn how to let go and let love. You need to learn how to allow the universe to put you in direction. When you're not in a relationship anymore, focus on you. What happens is women are so hurt after relationships. One, they don't want to be alone, so they stay in a relationship longer than they have to. And guess what happens? They blame that man for wasting their years, their good years, which is not all his fault. Also, they leave the relationship and then they're like, oh my God, I'm so distraught. I don't know how to start over. So a lot of people don't want to take that gamble. Natalie, I'm glad you're here, still here. I want you to tell us, since we're gonna start this conversation, the main topic.
Hmm.
Is it worth gambling? Is it worth what are you gambling when you start over in a relationship?
I mean, it depends on, well, you know what? I think if it's a long term relationship, let's say you were with someone since high school. I know a couple people who've been with their partner since high school. They got married. At this point, they have their kids, the white picket fence, they're established in their careers. If they were to leave now, chances are it'd be more difficult for them to move on, because you're so conditioned. I think that's the word of the day. You're conditioned. But if it's a situation where it might be a year, the risk doesn't feel as harsh simply
Wait, so
because
that's
you moved on.
long as anything more than a year. I want to make sure that what is long to you?
Long to me, well, we talking about microwave society like right now, or are we talking about traditionally long?
Both.
Okay, so long right now, I would take it like someone who's with you since college to now. Let's say it's like 10 years. That's long. 10, 15 years. That could be long. But microwave society, it could be 2 years because, there's this narrative now. If a man doesn't marry you after 2 years, that's a long time. So,
That's in my book. Go ahead. Right.
So I think it's one of those situations, regardless of what, starting new is going to be difficult for someone. You
Right.
don't know if you can date again. People get awkward when they're not around
Right.
individuals and being out there. So, and then think about it. Oftentimes we're just isolated anyway. There's dating apps. You don't really have to speak to people. So dating right now would probably be hard for folks who haven't done it in a while.
Mm. Can I ask you a question too?
Mhm.
That you have to give your personal experiences, but do you think that women have a harder time starting over than men?
It depends on your age. Like, what do you want in life? You know what I'm saying? Because it goes back to what you said. If you've been in a relationship for a long time, you're most likely going to start resenting the man, but then you have to turn the finger on yourself and say, why did I stay here so long?
Hello?
But you're going to kick yourself, though. Remember, it's a process. You're going to kick yourself. Like, why didn't I leave? But then you stayed because of comfort. There's love there. There's a reason why you're still there until something like the other shoe drops and you're like, I need to make a move. Then it'll be harder if you don't have a kid. Your eggs start,
I
so
thought it'd be harder
change.
if you had a kid to leave and start over.
I mean, here's the thing. If you're raising the kid together, it may be harder. If you're already separated, or like you're a mom in one space and dad is in another space, chances are it's not as hard. But if you're together, it would be hard simply because you want to make sure you don't break up a home. You don't want that child to see something broken. But there's a reason why you're going to leave if you have a kid. It has to be detrimental if you're
Okay, last
leaving.
question, Natalie. But I want you to stay on the panel. This is a real question, and the way you answer this question is going to allow me either to dissect you as a person, or it's going to allow me to really realize how amazing you are, and that your personality matches that profile pic. Which
I'm
is
going on mute.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so here it goes. Do you think people settle for the person, or they settle because of the situation?
Oh, they
I.e.,
settle.
i.e., you settle for someone you really don't really care about or find attractive, but once again, you have goals, family goals. Or you meet the right person or someone who's okay, but you settle for the lifestyle that you truly desire. Woman, do they settle for the man or do they settle for the lifestyle?
See, for me, it'd be hard to just give a straight because I think about,
Shout out to Frida and Linsky for giving answers straight up. Person or situation, chat room. Person or situation. What is selling? Thank you. I'm sorry, Natalie.
okay, so you said, would you settle for the person? Are we talking about aesthetics or are we just,
Everything. You settle for the person, but
mm,
whatever you desired in life from your partner, you didn't get
Character,
it, but you decided to marry them. Or would you
character.
settle for the situation?
I think most people stay for the situation because there's comfort there.
Mm,
That's why most people stay. Because remember,
mm,
aesthetics are going to die.
mm,
Like, I mean, think about, there's a whole not cracking situation. Black doesn't crack and whatever.
mhm,
You can find a woman who can stay beautiful for years and just become more beautiful as she ages.
mhm.
But after a certain point, that situation or however you've crafted your life becomes the reason why people stay. If you're getting what you need, you're going to stay. But then you have to think about it like this: if you're staying, that means you've settled. Can you still do a lot of things with that person and still like decide, I want to keep striving for more, but it doesn't mean that you leave that
Mm,
person?
okay. Okay. You know what's funny? Audrey Hepburn, I love her movies. Breakfast and Tiffany is one of my favorite movies by her. A lot of people don't know that because I'm so gangster. I watch Audrey Hepburn anyway. But most of her movies about either being with the person she loves or or choosing the lifestyle that she wants. That was an underlying like theme of most of her movies. And I
Mhm.
really do believe women settle for the person but won't settle for the environment. I believe the women are the 80% and 80% of women initiate divorces because they're not getting the environment or lifestyle that they want. It has nothing to do with the person that they want. Men, chime in, please.
We did a poll on the pre-show, and it showed that 4% of people in relationships would actually leave for a better person. So most people would actually stay for the person that they're with. So I don't know if that's a factor in this.
Right, there's noise. There's
So,
noise. Press mute.
so the question. So when she asked the question, it was in terms. I didn't know if she meant in terms of sticking with the person or picking a person. But I honestly think that some people would rather pick the person based on the lifestyle and just deal with whatever comes with them to get what it is that they want, right? So, for example, if there's a woman that wants to be able to have a man that has a bunch of money, she probably gonna deal with, a lot of his garbage in order to be able to get those nice purses and to be able to drive those nice cars and stuff like that. I think there's a lot more people that would settle for the lifestyle rather than the person. You'll pick a person you like less to get more. I think that people in general, male or female, no matter what race you come from, people in general would rather settle for the lifestyle rather than the person. And that's my personal opinion.
Mm.
Simple.
Chef.
People do both. People do both. It all depends on who. It depends on what the situation. People settle for both. But your means and your level of resources, your level of wealth determines what it is you settle for. What you require becomes less when you have all the resources in the world. They said that, what did they say? They said a wealthy man can be comfortable marrying a homeless woman.
Mm.
But a woman earning 150,000, won't even look at a man that's earning 50 or 60. And then, the whole equally yoked stuff starts coming out. So what's settling, I think, is based on the folks themselves, right? Oprah, she can, listen, man, she can't do her nails with 50 grand a year, all right? And if you've seen her feet, man, let me stop. But I'm saying, real talk.
I got no beef
She
with
doesn't
Oprah.
need.
I got no beef with
I know.
Oprah. I love
It's
Oprah.
jokes. It's jokes. Right?
Yeah, I love Oprah.
Sorry, Gail. But look, straight up and down, she doesn't require it. So her settling, she doesn't need a guy with a job. She doesn't. She doesn't need a guy with a job. Some folks at a certain point in their life, when they look at and they take inventory of who they keep around them and what they want to do and their capabilities and their resources, at some point it's not really settling. It's just exercising your option and understanding, weighing the pros and cons. Yeah, she might like a guy that's 6 feet tall. This guy is 5'1". You get me? But his bank account is 6'8". She may settle. She may be there may be a guy that he's still on the come up. He's not rich. He's what is KSC? Henry, high earner, not rich yet, right? But he got a little potential, but he's not there yet. But he's 6'3". He got the great eyes. He's the mixture of every sexy dude that they seen. They will settle at some point. It's natural. Don't just think that men are the only creatures that live and love through our eyes. Women do it as well. They just know how to do it with their eyes closed a little more. So I think they're settling on both sides.
Can I just say for the record for you gentlemen, to King, to E Black, to Chef, to Rico, I definitely plan on doing this more because, like I said, when I first hopped on here with you guys, I'm really in a place where it's just about me gathering information, just trying to better myself for the future. I appreciate you gentlemen and your platform. I'm going to respectfully hop out now so I can hop on and get my show together for tonight.
Tell him to go and follow. Tell him to go and follow you. Y'all don't have to stay here. Go and follow my brother. Tell him, please.
Go on YouTube right now. Search "Earning My Stripes" podcast. "Earning My Stripes" podcast. Me and my friends, we have been for years now talking about things that we need to do as young people to be able to better ourselves. We're going live right now, starting in about 10 minutes. I appreciate you guys because I follow you guys' show. I've been watching for quite a minute. And Marcel can definitely vouch for the fact that I've been telling y'all for a long time that what you guys do here on this platform has helped me grow and develop what I've been doing for years now. So I appreciate you guys continue doing what y'all doing.
Thank you. Hold on. Once again, get it correct. Earning My Stripes podcast.
Each and every one of y'all, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a
All
good
right.
one.
Thank
Hey,
you.
come back, my guy.
For sure.
All right. So with that being said, fellas, what do we gamble when we leave or when we want to start over? It seems like men we lose everything. We lose more than women when we want to start over.
Can I answer?
I could say what I gamble.
Yeah.
I could say this one. I'll be pretty quick with this one. I hope so. What am I gambling? Me, when I've thought about leaving somebody, I'm gambling. The biggest gamble to me is the fact that they are human and they have the ability to adapt and change, adapt to an environment, change and evolve. So the biggest fear, and I think that's a fear that women and men both have. The biggest fear is that the biggest hang up that you have, the deal breaker, that that person will change, and now you gave it up and you did not allow a certain level of patience for them to change. That's one of the worst feelings. You know, those people that might have gotten left by somebody when they didn't have any money, and
Right.
then you fast forward, now that person is extremely successful. Remember that phrase we used, King?
Yeah.
It's going to be on the T-shirt about petty.
Oh yeah. Being great is the new petty.
Listen, being great is the new petty. So if you
Marcella,
actually,
we waiting on it. We waiting on it.
so you think about that concept right there. One of the biggest fears is the thing that you feel as though you left them for, they change and become that person that you wanted them to be. Imagine that. Imagine you left the guy for cheating and he was so heartbroken by it, he never cheated again on anybody. What if the lesson, you know, what if? So for me, when I look at the gambles, the gamble of what can I get, what can I have, if I was single, and I'm not on trying to be boastful, I want to be as humble as possible. I understand the world. I don't think I would have a problem. All right. Finding somebody or making moves. It won't be the same person. But yo, the biggest gamble for me is, what am I giving up? What am I risking? It has nothing to do with how am I gonna get some new shit. I think it's that, am I giving up somebody that's able to eventually be what I want? So that's what I believe that keeps people from that point of pulling the trigger and saying, get the fuck out, or it's over, is that chance. And damn, but what if they change? And what if they learn a lesson from this and now I just made them better for somebody else? So when I look at the gamble, I'm talking about gambling what I already have. Remember, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So I'm talking about the value that I currently possess and risking losing it because I devalued it by not thinking that she can change. Damn, that was supposed to be a short answer, right? Sorry.
You crazy.
I mean, yeah, you definitely. I think a lot of people don't understand that. I think in your book you talk about soul ties, right?
Yep.
You know, sometimes you can risk trying to find somebody. And I remember that movie, Why Did I Get Married? And they were talking about the 80-20 rule with the guy he ended up having cancer, and Jill Scott. Yeah, she in her current and at her previous state, she was not the woman that he wanted. And then he got a new girl who was everything that he wanted, but not the things that he needed. So these are the things that we have to sometimes consider when we're thinking, we're exploring our options. Are the things that we want, or is it the things that we need? There's certain people who I need in my life, but there's certain people who I also want in my life too. So be careful, roll your dice, but it ain't It ain't all say. It ain't all good all the time, man.
Mm. Hello?
Yeah.
We can hit somebody's in the background. All right, Rico?
Yeah. Real quick. King, I just want to say this. I think it's important that we fact check some of the information we put out.
Ooh.
And I just want to fact check the fact that you said that 80% of women file for divorce. And I don't want us to continue to perpetuate that.
What the facts? Correct me, brother. Correct me, please.
No, I'm not correcting, because the thing is, there's no evidence to support that.
Right.
It never has been. That's something that's just like an internet rumor. Kevin Samuel said it. He's been called out before about providing evidence to support that. All we've ever been able to find blogs to say that. I've been divorced twice. I'm on my third marriage, and at no point in time, anytime I've ever filed for divorce, did I ever stipulate my sex. So they don't know if I'm male or female. So I call flat out bullshit on that. Right. Divorce records are public record, but you don't list your sex. You just list your name. So if your name is an ambidextrous name, there's no record to substantiate sex. So I want to be careful about that, because it paints a false narrative about women, in particular about black women, where in the manosphere and the Negrosphere, they're always promoting black women filing for divorce. That's all. So I just wanted to say that. I heard you say it. I just hear people say it all the time.
I actually heard it from his show, and I heard it from here.
Yeah,
so
I know.
He usually has facts, though, so I'm thinking
it runs. It's from the evidence.
It's from the CDC, though. I just want to make sure that it's from the CDC, Department of National Center for Health Statistics.
That 80% of women file.
Yeah, so you're wrong. So you're wrong, Rico.
Go ahead. So
wait.
Damn, Rico.
No. Go ahead.
No. I'm just gonna read. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I've got the information. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, about 50% of marriages in the United States end in divorce.
Correct.
And about 80% of the divorces are initiated by women. That 50% is often quoted, and it is probably on the high side, but it's illuminating that 80% of divorces are filed by the wife.
Click the link, and you will see it will take you to a blog. That's been dispelled repeatedly.
Damn, Rico.
That's a doctored fucking link.
Is that true,
Chef?
Chef?
Takes you to a blog. That's all I'm saying.
No. Listen, what I'm doing is, while he was talking, I was going to pull that information.
Right. I was just going because I've been down this rabbit hole 3 or 4 times before. And that's why I said that, because I don't want us to be a channel to continue to
perpetuate. And I respect that. We don't do that. We don't do that.
Or unverified. And I mean, I didn't say it to like call you out, King. It's just the fact that if I know something and the rest of you guys don't, I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm not going to.
Like if my girl cheated,
I'm going to keep it to myself.
You want to tell me my girl cheated?
I'm going to share you. I'm going to share it with you. So that's just that.
Well, I damn, Rico, I stand corrected.
No. Everybody doesn't know that. It was taught to me.
Right.
So I'm sharing it. Someone.
CDC is BS though.
No. I don't. I believe in CDC, but that is a doctored link that's been doctored. So what I'm saying is, I just wanted to say that, and I just don't want us to continue to perpetuate it. As far as to the topic at hand, I get what everybody was saying, and I forgot what was your position, Chef, because I actually had the exact opposite, but I got stuck on this for a moment. What was your position, Chef?
You talking about settling situation versus the person? Oh, yeah, it was what I stated is that it totally depends. I think that the settling can be on both sides. Oh no. This last piece, the last thing he was talking about was the gamble. That was the last thing I mentioned.
Right. And my thought,
I was saying that I wouldn't be worried about the gambling of starting over. I would be thinking about the gambling of what I'm actually going to lose, and if that person actually had an opportunity to change that I didn't give them.
Awesome, thank you. I love you, brother. You recentered me because I was lost, and that's what I needed. And the only reason when I say I landed on the opposite place with you, E Black and King, you haven't stated your position is. I look at it like this, and the way you described it to me was spot on, but I kind of think of when I think of it less of a gamble, because usually when you're deciding to leave a person, it's already happened. So when you get to that space where you're trying to decide whether I should stay or leave, it's been broken for a period of time. It's rarely a snap decision. There have been things that have occurred and occurred and occurred and occurred. And yes, you could say to yourself, well, do I stay and give them a chance? But then I always look at it in the E-Black. Remember, I told you when I initially did the pregame, I thought it was about, when you gave a statement before, and I 100,000% agreed with you. We're like, yes, walk away from everything, because people think about holding on to physical possessions, but what you do is you lose yourself, especially if you have children. So we can get so caught up on that's 66%. If you said 2/3, and that suggests, which is a guess, okay? Let's know what words mean. Suggest means it's a guess. They suggest 2/3 is 66%, not 80.
Right.
Let's be clear about stuff. Come on, King. You got two masters, right? Can we be
right?
Yeah,
so suggest is a guess, and 2/3 is 66%. So we got to throw that bullshit out and not perpetuate a false narrative. So again, what I sit there and say,
Rico, I'm just to convey your thoughts. Yeah, we do have to make sure that we're not perpetuating certain stereotypes, because I was looking up a stat on child support, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, people leave marriages because they want to get on child support, and then they want to also want to get on government assisted funding."
Garbage.
Yeah, those are tropes.
But then what I found out is that only 25% of the people who actually file for child support
Thank you, Cheryl.
are on actual government assistance.
Thank you, E-Black. Thank you, sir.
The perpetuation of that, people want to divorce each other because they want to be on,
and they don't
government assistant, and they don't never.
Wait, hold on. Let's get back on track, because I just thought about something. Why do we castrate people because they want to start over? Why do we want people to make it work? Why do we want to get, hold on? Why do we give people the grace and hope to make it, to see if they're going to change? Isn't that taken away from our life? Time, they say age is the only thing you can get without effort.
So we talking about a marriage or a boyfriend girlfriendage?
Both.
So there's a difference. I mean, if we go marriage, that's covenant. That's covenant. Better or for worse. That's a life. You're making a life commitment. A marriage is the only contract that is actually a life binding contract. It's illegal. In music, I can't own Rico's Publishing for 100 years. I can't put somebody on a contract, even if they sign it and they say they want it and get it notarized. There's laws that prevent it. Marriage is the only legal lifetime contract. You know what I mean? You're giving them the remainder of your time on this planet. Your wealth is your time. You're giving it to that person. So watch this. That's why your ass ain't married, King. Because when you do it, you're done.
Yeah. You're right.
You realize some people don't. Some folks.
That's the realest shit in the real. That's the realest shit.
Some folks don't get it. Some folks look at married. Look at unmarried.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. 70 more. Let's do it, Cheryl. Thank you.
Yeah.
Queen
Cheryl. Help Cheryl out.
Some people don't realize it when they clown folks that are not married. That been in relationships.
Right.
They don't understand. Sometimes people. My mother got divorced. My mother and dad divorced when I was 5. My mom and my stepdad divorced when I was like 16. Okay.
Right.
So I've seen it twice. I love both of those men. You get what I'm saying? I call both of them. I had 2 dads and I loved it. You get what I'm saying? So I was a child of divorce. I've seen it happen. I respect that. I respect that unit. You know what I mean? I really, really, really do. I'm not married to the person that I was engaged to before. And now, as I take in the inventory of my life, I'm glad. I'm glad because there's so much I wouldn't have learned. There's so much that I would have accepted just by virtue of being a husband. And that was a wrap. It was a wrap. I'm not a divorce kind of guy.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So folks have, a lot of times people would try to lay some coat or cloak of morality over you based on you making decisions that they don't or they wouldn't make. But the reason you ain't married is because of the depth of seriousness that you hold within that union. And it would take a special person. You said that to me one day. You was like, yo, man, your lady, the way you think, man, she has to be dangerous, man. Because
right.
You said that to me. It's like, yo, you got to be, she has to be dangerous, because the way that dudes like us think, she has to be patient and then understanding and it, you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot, so yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got on that one there.
So why do men feel like when we don't want to start over because society will look at us as failures?
I don't think that's true.
A lot of people say that the reason why they don't get divorced because it's a stigma with men that can't hold down families.
Remember, I told you I suffered through my second marriage for that reason.
Right.
But I used the word suffered for that reason because I was very unhappy with it, but I was also unwilling to end it. But it was to my detriment because the marriage was a very broken union. And I insisted on plowing through it, through thick and thin, through hell and high water. And I was not equally yoked to someone who felt the same.
Right.
That was clearly to my detriment. It was to a detriment to me. I endured that shit for 10 years. And it still ended up. So each, like I said, have you been married, Chef?
No.
Okay. And E-Black, you're married once and done, right?
Ain't no divorce.
I pray to God.
Ain't no divorce. Ain't no divorce over here.
Okay. I'm not praying it on
for
clarity.
Add like
For
3
clarity.
guys.
Wait, hold on. Let's get back to E-Black. Let's ask E-Black that question. That's a good question to ask him.
It was just
and back to you, E-Black. How do you tell your significant other there is no starting over? And then when you say that, how does that encourage her or him not to have complacency?
Yeah, that's a tough one. What I keep trying to say is, what I talked about earlier was about wants and needs. The person I'm with is what I need. It may not be my only option. It may not be the person I can ultimately achieve in life based on my income, based on the amount of material things and stuff that I can get. But the person I'm with is what I need. And I'm willing to accept that. So when me and my wife have these discussions all the time, and I tell her, I'm like, and she even tells me, she's like, she's not going nowhere because we want to see each other grow. We've invested too much. So it's just one of those things where if you've ever owned a car like a 67 Chevrolet, you're not going to sell your car for any trade-in. You're just not going to do it because you put too much in it. You've been under the hood.
You sound like a bank. The way the bank works is the more money a bank gives a company or any development, the more that it needs to make sure that thing succeeds. Anytime a bank, the more if you ask a bank or a person for 10,000, okay, we lose that. But if you ask that bank for 10 million or 10 billion,
they're gonna work. They're gonna be watching you, and they're gonna want to make sure you don't screw up the investment. They're gonna become more proactive.
They're gonna make sure that they're gonna make sure that you succeed. The more you put into something, the more you want to make sure that it succeeds. But isn't that a Venus flytrap in relationships? Why do I say that? Because you're saying we put so much, every time we put so much time together, we gotta make it work.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a trap? Just ask a question.
No, it's not a trap because
I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying, Chef?
And what you do,
I get
I'm
what
gonna
you're
take it there,
it's
Chef.
business.
I'm gonna
It's
take
do
it
we,
there. I'm
it's
gonna
do
take
I
it
do
there.
I cut my losses or keep throwing money at a bad investment?
And can I ask him another
Yes,
question
Yes,
as
you
a
can.
twist on it?
Yes, you can. But wait till
As a
yes, you
twist
can,
on
Rico.
it. Going back to what we had earlier in the conversation, E Black, because you and 100 Watt was so strong about it.
Right.
And I pray to God it never happens. But heaven forbid a medical ailment befalls your significant other and the box is broken and you don't have that. You still have that same conviction for the duration of your lifetime. That's not going to change. I just want you to give an honest assessment, because if you were critical about men getting a hall pass, now you're not getting one.
You know, I've watched my auntie, one of my favorite aunties. She was bedridden for 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
I'm trying to tell you guys, there's certain things in life that y'all don't want to watch your spouse go through, man. And certain things in life you're gonna have to go through. I'm hoping I never have to deal with that. I hope it's a quick and easy death for either one of us. But sometimes that's what life's about.
So in
Can you answer the question though? Can you answer the question?
Right. The question is, would you have an understanding, like you say, with your auntie? And again, like I said, nothing but
I don't want to get into a
compassion.
relationship. I don't know what my uncle did.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is that he was there every step of the way.
Right. We're not talking about abandoning your significant other. It's, would you have understanding of that spouse feeling to need for whatever they're not abandoning. We're not talking about people when a hall pass. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm going to tell my husband or my wife to leave me." We're telling them go out there, do what they got to do to make them happy, so they can bring their ass back home. That's it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And I think that you and 100 Watt was not open-minded enough.
Well, to keep it on this topic, I want to answer the topic about the more you put in, the more you have to make sure that it works out. So my question to you, why do people get such a titty attack or a chest attack when Jada and Will Smith are trying to make it work because they put so much into it? Why? If they're moving like a bank in investments, they need to make it work by any means necessary. And if that means extramarital, curricular, whatever activities, it's their job to make it work. So my question to you, E Black, you put in so many years in your relationship, and if your wife wants to do certain things, isn't it your duty to make it work, and vice versa?
That's the thing about it, is that even like you say with your the banks, like they still want to see your 10-year plan. They still want to see how you're investing. Like you can't just own Microsoft forever. Your shareholders are going to say, "Hey, man, we need to update it. We need to get good."
A succession plan. A succession. Yeah. What's going to happen next?
So that's the point I'm making, is that I'm constantly updating as my company or as my marriage, which is considered a business, is updating.
Right. One of the things, my biggest fears, and that's why I don't. And I think Chef said it. If I get married, I'm stuck. And one of my biggest fears is that because I have the same mentality as Black, like if I get married, that's it. Because my parents been married for close to 50 years. That how can I encourage my wife not to get complacent? Natalie, can you help us with that?
I mean, in terms of your wife getting complacent, would it be I guess I'd like to get an idea of what that would mean. Like, did she start, keeping herself up every time you see her date-wise? She kept herself together, nails done, hair done, everything done.
Yes.
I think that goes back to the woman, because being in a relationship shouldn't change those habits. You should want to keep yourself up.
What about in shape? What about in shape?
You should do that too. But remember, there's a difference between you having that baby, putting on some weight, things like that. But then at the same time, not every woman has snapback. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Right.
But with that being said, if she doesn't have that ability to snap right back into shape, you should be pushing her to, get herself together, or say, hey, not in a way that's going to make her feel bad about herself, but give her some time and then start going to the gym with her or start walking. There's all these partner activities that can happen without leaving your woman behind to keep her up. But it has to go back to the woman. She should always want to keep herself up, aside from her having a little, depression that would keep her from keeping herself together. But I think it's the woman's duty to keep herself up. I think it's important.
Yeah, but see, I don't think it's fair when men, we have to keep ourselves up financially, right? Despite the economic climate. If you have a wife and kids, I don't care if it's the pandemic, you better find a way to, right?
Yeah, but
We,
there's
we
always
don't get
ways.
that grace. We don't get that grace. I know a lot of people don't like comparing it, but we don't get that same grace.
I mean, here's the thing. There's ways to make money regardless. You can get $500 and flip it on the market. Get on YouTube, learn some about options, learn about stocks. You can make money every
But what
single
if I
day.
told you? What if I told you I'm depressed and I don't
I
feel
mean, we're
good?
going to therapy. We're going to get you a counselor.
But if we say that to y'all, it's like,
I mean, but here's the thing. How mature is that person when they can't take feedback?
But
Because,
can I ask you? I'm
mhm.
sorry, Natalie. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, well, my question is this is, and this is the thing I'm wondering, and I put it on me because that was a great question you asked, Natalie, about the staying in shape thing. And I get the pushback on the guys about the finances, but why do we feel like, we cannot maintain staying physically fit and place that same demand on the women? So I
right,
agree, like if you want your woman to be fit, like I know I'm overweight. I don't lean on my wife about it because I'm like, fuck, until I get myself together, but if I see a lot of guys, a lot of cats, and I'm like, dude, just making bread and being just like that, that's not you can't lean on her about that. Yeah, you can lean on her a little bit, but you can't be a dictator about being in shape when the only shape you're in is round.
right. But that's pushing the goalpost because I was referring to me, and
Mhm.
I work out every 5 times
Yeah,
a
yeah,
week.
yeah. You're the exception.
Right, but I'm 41. So, but my thing is one of my fears of getting married is women becoming complacent, not being as sexy, not being as sexual, not being as adventurous, not pouring into me mentally, spiritually. It's scary. It's scary because women know who they married, and they know if they marry me, I'm locked in. I come from a family of committed men. I'm the only person besides my brother who's not married and stays married because I don't play with that institution of marriage. I'd rather continue to be a playboy until I know a woman is going to make sure that she doesn't slip.
Until
And
you die.
I'm asking Natalie, who's a woman and a fine woman at that, what can I do? Not when she messes up and then help her get back to the gym. What are the signs to look for? Because women can put up a front, especially for 2 years.
You
You can
know
put up
what's
a front.
But here's the thing. It's like exercise is not the only thing. It's what you're eating. What's in your fridge? I have people look at what I eat on a daily basis talking about you like salads? Like that's like a sin. Put a vegetable on your plate. You can have snacks in your pantry, but you still need to eat a certain way. So that's part of the discipline. The diet is like the most important part when it comes to like being healthy. And then you add that component of fitness. But then
Right,
you make fitness fun for both of y'all. Go to the handball court, go play tennis. It doesn't have to feel like it's aerobics or you're in the gym per se.
right.
Do activities and then it'll just be part of your lifestyle. It
Right.
changes the game that way.
And it's not just the physical; it's also like the spiritual and just the. I just don't want her to. Because I'm a fun person. Every day is a joke. Is It's fun. I'm a random person.
But you'll know if your woman is a dry person off rip.
Yeah, they be. I had to let go of one that was dry, and but at the end of the day, it's like most women I date and I'm seeing them is like it's people live this monotonous life that I can't deal with.
But
You
here's the
gotta get you
thing.
gotta start. You gotta understand. Kids play a huge role into motivations of individuals. A lot of
Right.
Right.
your, a lot of the goals and the things that you are now will change when you first pick up a child that you of you of yourself. So think of that in a little bit of terms.
But another
Hold
thing
on, Frida said
too,
it. She's a woman. She said, Farida said, women be fronting until they get that ring. I'm telling you.
not all of them though. Here's the thing, it's about how you're picking. If you're having if you're dating a woman and you feel like she's doing everything that you want her to do, chances are she's like it's most likely a front. If she doesn't have her own ideas, thoughts, wants to introduce certain activities to your lives or do certain things that you both can learn to love, chances are she's in the game to secure you. And women are very good at that. They'll cook for you in the beginning. They may do this, that, and the third, and it could fall to the side. But if you're
Right.
not doing it together, chances are it's to lock you down.
Well, let me. This whole topic today title is based off the common uh, quote or phrase that we hear, which is called "It's cheaper to keep her." Most men will stay in a relationship even though they might not be attracted to that lady because they have children together, they have businesses together, they have property together, they have history. History is one of the biggest things, variables that keep people in relationships. We do a cost analysis as men when we make a move. And sometimes we will stay in a relationship because the cost of leaving that relationship and starting over might be more. Fellas, why are we judging our happiness based on cost analysis?
Easy. That's an easy one. We're responsible for protection and excuse me for provision. Provision. So if we are the CFO, the chief financial officer of that corporation, then that's my job, to consider the resources, especially if it's something that I'm responsible for. Then it has to play a major part because the growth of those resources or a lack thereof all falls at my feet. Everything rises and falls on leadership, right?
We miss you, Barbie.
Everything falls. Hey, Bobby Girl Tina, what up,
We miss
straight?
you,
Man, where she
Barbie.
been?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about to put out the Amber Alert on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So we have to, we have to,
Congrats,
we have to, we have to, because that's what I'm responsible for. And they say, man, you only have one job, right? That is one of the major jobs that will determine my success or failure as a priest, prophet, king, provider within that corporation, as a CFO. The finances fall on me, so I can understand how that can happen. All of that consideration. Is it always fair? No. I'm just speaking to the motivation of why it would take place.
Okay. E Black, why do men find it cheaper to keep her? And why would they let that ruin their happiness?
well, it's all some. I will almost say it like this. Sometimes it's based on what you're willing to pay, uh, not necessarily the amount. Sometimes I don't mind spending money on my wife when she needs it, or I don't mind paying for a dress when she wants it. So that's free money. That's money that I don't count. But when I have to spend it on somebody new, I'm like, look, that's a $200 dress, $300, $400 dress. Why I gotta spend this money? Now I'm counting mentally. So in a lot of ways, it's a mental way of men keeping tabs on how much they're outputting, but it's based on the amount that satisfying you for the benefit of your own self or the benefit of your own family. So, like I said, it's cheaper, yeah, in probably a sentimental way, but yeah, I spend a lot on my wife, and I don't think that a new woman necessarily is like gonna make. I wouldn't spend that much on a new woman anyway. It's just weird. I don't know. Sometimes we get caught up in these little talking points, and it's like, yeah, I like seeing my wife happy, so I don't mind her spending my money. So I don't know. I could be cheap with a new girl.
Okay, Rico. Oh boy.
This is gonna sound crazy. It's gonna sound fucked up.
Oh boy.
But I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh shit.
Men like possessions.
Damn, Rico.
Men like owning things. Fact of the matter is,
Conquest.
men don't like giving away anything that they feel they own. And it's a psychosis. Men, you made the correlation about the 80% of women file divorce, if that was even remotely true, or 66%, whatever it is, because men just don't file for it. I don't believe it's the 80%. It is a higher percentage of women. Men do leave marriages and effectively initiate divorces, but we just don't fucking file for it. Because a man would like to feel like I can leave a relationship and come back to it when I choose.
So then that means that you agree with that stat then, right?
No, I don't agree with the stat. I do not agree.
You're saying in terms of your own knowledge that they do file more. Men don't file.
No. I do believe that women file more. I don't believe it's at 80%. But I think what they dismiss is they place filing against the actual initiation. Because if 90% of men leave, who gives a fuck about who files? If you're a woman with kids and the guy gone, so you went down to the courthouse and filed for divorce, he left 3 years ago. What difference does it matter? The filing of it is a trope. It's, he filed for divorce, but I've been a single woman for 3 years. So setting that aside, I say that that's what I know men do. And you know that too, Chef, to be true. Once we take ownership or possession of something, it's hard for us to let it go. Whether it's a relationship, a man will go, I could be married with a woman with 3 kids here, and as they say, I'll go cross town and start a whole new family. I ain't got rid of this one because I don't know if I'm going to need to run back to it. We do that. That's a defect on men. So when I look at it this way and I look at it objectively, there's very little things that we want to let go of willingly. It feels like we lose. It's a loss, right? We lost the marriage. We lost the relationship. Everything is a loss. We look at everything as a loss. If I could say, I kept this wife, the next wife, the girlfriend, and everything else, I feel like I'm winning. And that's what we're constantly doing, even when we're losing. So that's where, to me, it always comes back to that men. A woman can more easily accept the fact that she lost. She lost to another woman. She lost to another relationship. A man, I can't accept my woman left me for you, Chef. Oh, hell no. She's still with me, even though she's sleeping in your bed. I'm still married to her. She's still my wife.
I'm a nice guy, though.
Right. It's all of these psychosis and all of this mentality issue. So for me, that's what it really comes down to. As men, we're very possessive about things that we think we've conquest, we've taken ownership of, and we have a hell of a time letting go, whether it's gone or not.
I got a rabbit holder for you. But not just for you, for everybody.
Okay, good. E-Black.
All right. So let's this. Would you, if you love your mate and you want them to be happy and you want them to be fulfilled, would you be okay with your mate being with somebody else that would make her happier, provide better for her, and fulfill her more? How selfish or unselfish is your love? That you would.
My only thing is, I just don't want to know the person. If it's someone that's unknown to me, I'm content. The destruction to me is the proximity to me. Take away that, it would hurt, but I would be happy for her. The proximity is the damage to me. That's it. She can celebrity, somebody I don't know. I'm happy. I've been happy for my exes. I just don't want the proximity. That's the damage to me. And that's why I always say with my guys and everything else, just proximity. Take proximity out of it. I ain't gonna say I'm lying. I'm not never gonna be happy for their ass, but I won't be sad. If it's too close in proximity, then I have a problem.
My ex, my son's mom, crazy thing, her husband, I'm cool with. He was in jail. I would talk to him in jail. When he was her boyfriend, the first time I went to meet him, because whenever I would roll into New York, she and I are like friends. I would roll into New York, so I would always stop first in Brooklyn, stop at her crib because my son is there, and I'd surprise him when he's coming home from school, stuff like that. And I got to meet him for the first time, right? He was a little younger than me. The funniest thing in the world was I made a joke. I was like, damn, yo. And he was cool, like cool as hell. And I told her, I was like, damn, man, you went and adopted you a son for, you went and you adopted a brother for my son, right? He ended up getting locked up. And he did some years. He did a few years. But why did I show him love? Why did I send him books? Why did I talk to him on the phone? He did it to protect my previous family and my son. He did what he did. So I love this guy. And he's my ex's husband. He was an ally to me. So in terms of the aspects of love, I asked that question because of the levels of selfishness sometimes. And this kind of goes to what you were talking about, Rico, in terms of our ownership. You know, as kings, as conquerors, we wish to conquer and then not just conquer, but hold dominion over all of the places that we've conquered. And sometimes in terms of that dominion, we believe that possession is what makes the thing so valuable. It's not always just possession. I go get this thing here and put it there. No, it's how we cultivate what that thing is that we have dominion to make it greater. I could own lands, but then also I can just own lands and say it's mine, or I can actually sow crops on that land and build a forest that will create better air quality and create provision for the rest of the village or the kingdom. It's how we cultivate that. So I bring it back to the selfishness aspect. Personally, how unselfish are we within love? Even if we understand that the person that they will be with is better within a certain area than us, or may make them feel more comfortable. That's a real question, but everybody doesn't answer that. So I'll give you that one.
Wow.
Hey, you know, I made an obligation to JP to be on her stream, and she started. We got deep into the rabbit hole. So if anybody wants to go over there right now, I'm going to be joining her on her platform. But
It's not
great
a 10.
conversation.
It starts at 10. That's why you told us 10 o'clock.
I know. I think the time difference got confusing, but I'm going to head over there and fulfill my obligations with her. Okay, guys?
Okay.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.
But be good. See you over there.
Hey, Bobby Tina, what's up?
See you in a minute.
I'll be over there to press your ass later.
Hey, Bobby Tina, what's up?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. About time. I finally get to hear you. Yay.
I know I was having some issues with my headsets, even though I got the new Pros. Can you believe it?
No,
Weird.
I can't believe that. So tell us, where have you been?
Well, like I was saying, it was kind of funny, like the stuff that y'all were talking about tonight. We've got some family drama in our family that's kind of about, what's going on tonight about the cheaper to keeper kind of stuff. And in this case, we have to also talk about when the man doesn't have a choice whether he gets to keep her or not.
Ooh,
Yeah. See, my brother had called us all over called us all over to his home. Him and his wife had been together for 12 years. The love of his life, his everything, his just and they don't have any kids. It's just been them, and she's a flight stewardess or whatever. One of those, so she travels and he travels with her sometimes. And, they purchased a $1.8 million home. And, of course, when you don't have kids, you can do those kind of things, and they live a great life. Well, long story, but kind of speed it up to where we are now, current day. Back in the day when he got with his wife, she never met her real mother. She never knew who her mom was. And they finally, you know, said, let's go find her. Let's go talk to your dad, blah, blah, blah. So 2 years ago, she finally got a chance to meet her mom. And it wasn't the mom that she thought it was going to be. It wasn't this loving, open arms kind of a deal. It was a, hey, how are you doing? And the mother was an alcoholic. Uh, a lot of the brothers and sisters were gang members because my brother married a Hispanic woman. And so they lived in California. And my brother is mixed. He's like me, he's half black and half white. So the family was never really accepting of him, but they did accept him over time. And they have been married for 12 years. Uh, so they just learned to accept him over time. Okay. So 6 months ago, she tried to talk to her mom several times, and she wasn't getting that love back that she wanted. She'd never even seen her mom up until she was a grown woman, 38 years old. And
wow.
so the mom, was just an alcoholic and couldn't respond back to her. So she's like telling my brother, every time I call my mom, I can't talk to her. I don't understand what she's saying. I guess I'm just going to chalk this up as I just will never have a mom. And he was, my brother's been there for her, you poor thing, blah, blah, blah. We'll get through this, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward up until September this year, the 28th of this year, they get a
Right.
phone call saying, get here, your mom is dying. So remember, this is the girl that never knew her mom at all. She gets there, her mom is COVID, so they look it through the mom through the glass and then the netted windows and stuff and wave to her and stuff. The mom's on her deathbed basically, and the doctor says, "Well, you have 6 months to live." And so she's like, "Oh my God, my mom has 6 months to live. What am I gonna do?" She's leaning on my brother for everything. They've been together for 12 years. Remember, it's just them. They have no kids. They have this big $1.8 million home, this jet set life. Everything's luxury, blah, blah, blah. Everything a woman could want. So my brother's like, "Well, get through this." Well, uh, no. So November the 1st rolls around, because remember, they're there October 28th. November 1st rolls around, and they said, well, they're getting ready to leave California because remember, she's the flight stewardess. They get free flights everywhere. So they have this trip planned to Acapulco. And he said, well, my brother said, do you think we should cancel the trip? In light of, what's happening with your mom and everything, what do you think we should do? She was like, oh no, let's just keep the trip going and let's just keep everything set and we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So now remember, this is a woman that's never met her mom and stuff. And then when her grandmother died, she gave a speech, never cried, nothing, right? So this is a hardened person because she never knew her mom and just really didn't know how to be like ladylike, like tears. But she's beautiful, beautiful woman. She carries herself like a lady and everything. She's great. So they get to the trip, okay? And this is where things get crazy from 12 years to this. This is where I said maybe the man doesn't have a choice if it's cheaper to keep her or if he wants to still be with her or not. She gets there day one. She turns to him and says, "You know what? I don't think I want this marriage anymore." And he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" She was like, I just need to be left alone. I need to be alone. I need to be by myself." And so he was like, "Well, honey," well, he calls her Chica because she's Hispanic. He was like, "Well,
Mhm.
Chica, you have me. What do you mean you need to be alone? I'm your husband. I'm everything. What do you mean?" She was like, "I mean, like alone. I just don't even want you to look at me." So he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh my God." He told us, he's like, "I'm thinking maybe we just got done coming from where her mom is dying and she's just a little traumatized right now. And she just, all this other stuff." And, he's just like thinking, you know what, let me give her some space. Let me give her some time. Well, they're in this nice, beautiful trip and they're supposed to be together. He's basically sitting for 4 days in this luxury trip all by himself, not knowing where his wife is or what she's doing or nothing. So he's losing his mind because he's going, what is going on? What's happening right now? So time goes on. She just says, "Leave me alone." They get home and they start, unpacking bags and stuff and getting ready to go to bed. And she was like, "I don't want you in the same room with me. I don't want you in my bed anymore." And he was like, "What do you mean? What am I supposed to do?" She was like, "Go sleep in one of the guest bedrooms or go sleep in the basement, go do something." And he was like, "What?" He said his wife had never treated him that way, never act like that. Well, she did act like that when my brother lost his wife. And my other brother lost his wife to cancer. And my other brother wanted to be there for him. And she was restricting how much he should be there for him. And that part's another long story. So I kind of seen a glimpse of the real her then. So if my voice is all messed up because we all been crying and praying and everything else for my brother. And so we've all been like trying to help him get through this time. So as I get back from this trip, I want you to sleep downstairs. I don't want you in my bed anymore. He's going, wait, what's happening? Losing his mind and all that. Then after they're home, she goes on another 4-day trip because she's a flight stewardess and all this other stuff. She gets back and she won't even look at him. And she is still talking this stuff about being alone, not wanting to talk to anybody, all this other stuff. And then he then says to her, "Well, what are you going to do? You haven't been talking to me for 2 weeks now. I'm your husband." And he started getting angry, like, "You're my wife. I'm going to need you to talk to me. I need you to tell me what's going on. Do we need to get you some help? Do we need to get you to talk to somebody?" And no, I don't need any help. You're the one that needs help, is what she tells him. And then she then says to him, "As a matter of fact, I want a divorce." So he's like, "A divorce?" He's like, "What did I do? What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, I just want a divorce. I want to start a new life. I want to get new friends and I want a new social life," is what she said to him. So a day or two goes by. Then her mother dies. They get a call. Remember, her mother was supposed to live for 6 months. She only lived for 4 weeks after they left. Get a call that she dies. Then she closes even more in on my brother and says, the same things. "I don't even want you messaging me now." So when she goes to her flight trips and stuff, he's not allowed to message her. He's not allowed to ask her questions. He's not allowed to talk to her, nothing. So we just all found this out a little bit over the past maybe 5 or 6, 7 days. We've been kind of just back and forth as family, where he's been calling us and saying, "Oh, she walked in the door. She's this. Pray for me. Do this, do that." But his wife is planning on divorcing him and getting a lawyer and taking half of everything. So basically, she walks away with over $500,000 plus, gets to start a new life with God knows who, God knows where. And my brother has lost weight, dark circles underneath his eyes, can't figure out what's happening, losing his mind, going, "Why is this happening?" So when you guys were talking about, this stuff tonight, cheaper to keep her, blah, 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 and how men are territorial, protected over their wives. This is a situation where no matter what the man is protective over, no matter how much a man, wants to keep his wife, this is where a wife is totally rejecting the husband and saying, "I'm out of here. I want a new life. I want a new social life."
Wow.
Yep.
Barbie, I'm
So
not gonna lie to you. That's a crazy story.
a very crazy story. As you can see, as you can see and understand, all of us in the family are lost right now. We're, no one was ever prepared for this. We're talking about a couple that travels everywhere together, posts pictures on Instagram, and they don't have children. They don't have anything to argue about, nothing serious. She's gone 4 days out of the week. And so I asked my brother, I said, "Do you think she's seeing somebody else?" And he was like, "Oh, no, no, no. I checked that. Nothing's impossible, but I checked and all that. It doesn't seem like that's the case." And I said, "Well, there seems like there's something more to this." I said, "There's no way that a woman of 12 years is just going to walk away from her what she calls her king, her mansion, the best thing that's ever happened to her is what she says. When we're around her, she's all in my brother's life, everything. I've seen some things here and there. That's neither here nor there. Me personally, I always knew something was up with her, but the fact remains is she's walking away from my brother for no
Barbie,
reason. Yes.
you gotta. I mean, just I, I've heard more of this story than I need to hear.
Mm.
I've heard this story several times over. Not even from you, just from other people. She's fucking somebody else.
Whoa.
Sorry for the language.
Whoa.
Sorry for the
No,
language.
Yeah.
it's not the language. Is that Bobby just said that she just literally cried about this.
I mean, and I'm
It might be it might be a little bit too sensitive for her.
right, and I'm sorry. I apologize for the
No,
brutality
Rico,
of it.
you're okay. No, Rico,
No,
you're
I mean,
okay.
I really do. I really do. But it's just that story is a story that I've heard a lot of times over. But I mean, honestly, my heart bleeds out for your brother. It bleeds out for him as much as, you as that's your brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be his sister. And as a sister, protect your brother with the honest to God truth.
That's what I did. I told
What
him that
you
there's a
saw,
possibility.
what is it a possibility, or do you know it to be true? I'm asking you. I'm not asking him. I'm asking you. He has doubts. Do you have any?
No.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Then
go with
you
that she met
need
somebody.
to be your brother's sister. He has doubts because he's in love with her. You are not. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's a what?
A duck.
It's a duck.
Yep.
And the reality is, yes, it hurts. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it hurts after 12 years. She is saying what she wants to say. And yes, does he lose? But I'll go back to the conversation I had. This is a conversation where
Let's make that to let's do it to keep it down to 10 seconds because
okay, 10 seconds. I'll button it up.
Yeah.
Tell your brother he's going to have to absorb his losses to get new gains. He can try to hold on to what he has, or he can let it go and look forward to what he can have if he lets it go. It is a difficult thing to do, but it's one he must do, because whether he's willing to let it go or not, if she walks away, he loses it anyway.
That's it. Thank you. Judge Phil, please say your
sir.
piece. But Judge Phil, I want to say something. I apologize to you. Why do I apologize to you? And Bobby Girl Tina and everybody in the panel and everybody in the garden. And Chef, you didn't give the speech today. I just want you to know that.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to give at the end, because what's gonna happen is Judge Phil's gonna give his commentary, which gives us like 5 minutes left, and we all going to go to Chef Shapino's page to continue the conversation. Why? Because the conversation, we didn't finish talking about taking a gamble, leaving, starting over by finding a new job, or why the Black people are scared to start over and find a new community. We didn't talk about those aspects yet. And we're going to talk about that as Chef Shapiro said. I don't know if he's starting at 11 or 10. It's up to him. But this is cutting down at 10. So if you want to go to his page, it's up to him. So, Chef, is it 10 o'clock directly? Because so everybody can follow you, or 11?
No,
I know I'm sneaky, right? Go ahead.
let me put on my Jamaican voice. You is a dirty man, you know, king. Me not like them thing, you know, my youth.
Right.
Yeah. Shit, listen. I'm ready for war. I'm ready for whatever.
Right.
I don't want us to lose our folks, though. That's
All
the
right.
thing. You get what I'm saying?
All right, so we follow you at 10 o'clock. So, Jeff, finish your comment. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanted to be brief, just to offer some
Thank you so much,
perspective
brother.
about that situation. First off, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that your brother's going through such a tragic situation, but just as the other gentleman was pointing out, there has to be something more to that story. I mean, like you said, from the outward perspective, it would seem as though they had a happy dynamic, but something interconnecting between them isn't quite clicking, whether it be something on an emotional level or mental or something that of that estate is causing them to go separate ways. Now I'm not going as far to the extreme to say that she's seeing someone else, because I don't believe that to be the case. I honestly just think she's just not happy with the material lifestyle that they have for whatever reason. But you know I believe that there's some questions that would have to be asked, more than just saying what's wrong, because clearly this is something that's been building up, or maybe something she planned out in her mind a long time ago for whatever reason. But there has to be some sort of reasoning behind it, besides the random out of the blueness. But that's all I really had to say about that.
Exactly.
I respect that. Listen, please follow everybody in your panel. We're going to Chef Shapiro room right now. We want to make sure he get his followers up too. Out here, we share subscribers. We don't keep it to ourselves. With that being said, Chef, can you get the rocks and the flowers thing? And then as soon as he finishes that, I'm cutting this off and we going to Chef Shapino's room. Rico, I'm seeing you there.
I'm going to JP first, then coming over.
Okay.
I want to see E Black.
Okay, I respect that. Let's do it. Let's go.
We got this in late, but I'm going to give you the brief speech. We do not exist within the manosphere. We exist within our sphere. And within our sphere, there's a place called our True Pill Community Garden, because we are not red pill, we are not blue pill, we are true pill. And we move and operate on a higher degree of vibration. Within the garden, we have two pivotal life forms. The rocks, and yes, even the rock, we're life forms within this garden. The rocks and the flowers. What are the flowers? The flowers are our ladies, our sisters, our mothers, grandmothers, aunties, the ones that bring life, the ones that cultivate us, the ones that take light, sunlight, and turn it into oxygen that the world can breathe. We breathe the oxygen, expend our energy, and we expel carbon dioxide. What do the flowers do? They take that carbon dioxide in photosynthesis and they turn it back into oxygen again for us, which metaphorically means that they take our crap, they take our waste, and still figure out a way to breathe back life into us. And they are critical to the ecosystem. Rocks sit on the outer perimeter or periphery of the garden, and the rocks, their whole purpose is to protect the flowers. Why? No offending feet can actually come and step on the flowers by mistake, because they would have to succumb to the pain of sharp stone beneath their feet. So we stand as vigilant rocks within our garden. We protect them from incursions, and we also protect the garden from the weeds that tend to come in and attempt to choke out the life and progress of our flowers. So we stand vigilant as rocks to protect our garden. Welcome to the garden. Assume your rightful place in the garden, and let's cultivate.
I'm headed to Chef page. I'm out. Peace.